The second thing I wanted to talk about is fear-based consciousness. And I don't in any way want to undervalue or to de-emphasize the importance of women and girls being cautious in this world. I think that goes without saying. I think all of us need to learn how to protect ourselves. I started studying Muay Thai just because of the bullshit that I deal with on social media, and the fact that I run into people randomly. People recognize me everywhere I go, you know what I'm saying? And I've had situations where I've had to deal with men where it was uncomfortable. So I started studying how to protect myself in order to deal with that if it ever came to a head. So I understand the importance of women having mace, women being able to protect themselves, women being cautious, and girls being cautious wherever they go. We should be doing that regardless. But my niece put up a post on Facebook that really disturbed my spirit, and I'm going to talk to her later on today. She said that she's very afraid as she moves around in the world because of all of the energy that's being discussed and expressed on social media and these videos and whatnot of these women having these, potentially being kidnapped and whatnot. And that she's literally having anxiety and panic attacks because she is afraid. And I know she's not the only one. I know of women who were being triggered when all of this Me Too stuff was happening, women who were being triggered because of things that had happened in their past, whether they had been raped or molested as a child or whatnot. When I talk about the collective consciousness and human beings being ecosystems, this is what I talk about. This is what I'm talking about. Everything is energy. Your thoughts, what you're thinking right now, what you're feeling right now, what you think about when someone sends you a video. Freaking 20-30 people have sent me the video of the sister in Houston where she was talking about her experience with the Lyft driver and everything. This 20 or 30 people have sent me the video of Egypt where she's talking about being scared and how women need to be, when she goes to her car, she moves a certain type of way. And I'm not mad at any of that. We need that. We need to be informed and we need to be cautious. But where are the videos that are teaching women and teaching mothers and teaching daughters about learning how to control their energy, control their thought process, and to be mindful mentally, emotionally, and spiritually about how they move? Just like there's with the fear-based consciousness with black men and young black men, and parents teaching their sons, when you deal with police officers, you make sure you move. It's purely based out of fear. I don't teach my son based out of fear. If you interact with the police officers, if you're in a car with somebody and they get pulled over, if the police stop you at school or if you're walking or whatnot, the first thing you need to do is go to your breath. The first thing you need to do is control your breathing and start talking to yourself. I'm in control of my destiny. The outcome that I want from this altercation is this. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to talk to this man briefly and then I'm going to go about my business. You dictate with your mind and with your spirit and with your energy the type of people that you interact with, the type of altercations you have, and the outcome from those altercations. Now, because we are a culture and a society in a world that does not respect spirituality, we don't respect the spiritual sciences, we do not understand quantum physics, we do not understand that every thought that you think is sending out a vibration out into the universe that's going to come back to you in the form of people, places, and things. We don't understand how we're consciously creating our realities. So who's to say that the uptick in the Me Too movement and all of that energy surrounded by rape and surrounded by abuse of women, who's to say that that is not creating an uptick in the sex trafficking industry? I, for one, believe that it is. And you can't prove it because you can't see it, because it's not a statistics or analysis or something you can write on paper and actually formulate a hypothesis and then, come up with a scientific or a mathematical conclusion. But I am very much, and I said this with the shit with Nipsey Hussle when everything happened and everybody jumped on me and people started making videos about me and saying I was wrong and you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Calm the energy down. Calm down. Slow down. Stop jumping to conclusions. Be a little bit more sensible with how you speak on the internet. Be a little more sensible with how you move. Because it's not that you have an altercation today and it happened in that split second. No, everything that's happening in your life, what you thought yesterday is creating a reality for today. What you focused on last week is creating a reality for tomorrow. I cannot emphasize this enough. So let me be the female. I've never been kidnapped. I've had very uncomfortable situations with men as a young woman, as a young girl. I've had uncomfortable situations with family members as a young woman. But I've never been sex trafficked. I've never been kidnapped. I've never been prostituted. None of that stuff. I've never been a stripper. None of that. But I am a woman and I get a lot of male attention. And I understand the dichotomy between the male-female interaction. As a woman and as a young girl, you have to be just as cautious with how you're thinking and how you're feeling and how you are, what energy you are vibrating, as you have to be with looking around you when you are leaving the mall and going into the parking lot. You're being cautious about being out at certain times of night. Okay, I understand that. That's important. You're being cautious about going into certain environments where there are too many men, or you don't have a friend with you, or if you're leaving, if you live in a college campus and you're leaving your dorm room, to make sure you have somebody with you, or walking the path where there's lights and there's phones where you can contact. All of that is important, but we are more spiritual than we are physical. The unseen world has much more power than it has than the physical realm. So you got to be much more cautious when it comes to how you're thinking. Stop promoting fear-based consciousness. If you want to talk about your experience as a woman, as a victim of rape, as a victim of child abuse, as a victim of whatever it is, not just women, but men as well. Talk about the fact that there is divine guidance that's protecting all of us at all times. Talk about the fact that we have ancestral guidance that is with us, but we have to be in alignment with that energy. Talk about the fact that you have to be thinking positive and having high expectations. I don't expect nothing to happen to me. I don't expect anything to happen to my son. And it doesn't mean that it won't, but I am 10 steps ahead of the game because I have a continuous, focused, strong, energetic resonance with I am protected, with I am being guided, with no harm is going to come to me, with I am being watched over, protected, guided, provided for, secured. Nobody can tell me different. And I didn't learn that in a book, and I didn't learn it in school, and I didn't learn it in religion. I just know it. So I move with a certain type of energy when I'm out and about. I'm not looking at men like they're the enemy. I'm not looking at men like I'm expecting somebody to be disrespectful of me. I am cautious. I told you before, I've had experiences that made me feel uncomfortable, but I wasn't in the same vibrational alignment that I'm in right now. So for all you young women and all you women out there that are scared about what's happening right now, protect yourself, learn a martial art, learn how to protect yourself, absolutely. But know in your spirit and in your mind and in your heart and in your soul, continuously speak positive affirmations to yourself that you're protected. Continuously speak positive affirmations to yourself that there is a divine mind, a divine consciousness, a divine energy that is with you, that is watching you, that is working with you, that is guiding you, that is protecting you at all times. You don't need to be walking around worried about what separates the women who are victims of this madness from the ones who aren't. Is it just their fate? There's a deeper conversation, and I don't want to get too much into that because I don't want anybody to get offended from what I'm saying. I've been through a lot. I've been strung up on a cross, you know what I'm saying, energetically behind some bullshit and a lot of other things that have happened to me. So that could be flipped back on me and said, well, what made you? Because I was energetically out of alignment. So my point is, and I know there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? If the FBI says there's 3 million pedophiles in America, we do need to be mindful. Women are being raped every day. We do need to be cautious, but we also need to accept accountability and responsibility, how we move in this world, our expectations of men, how we interact with men, how we see ourselves, how we carry ourselves, the type of content we watch on social media, the type of content we watch online, the type of conversations we have with our friends. There's a deeper level and a deeper conversation about this. Stop being afraid and empower yourself. Peace and love.